looked up and said, "I can't."
I motherfucking hate Applebee's. The cheap vintage decor, the depressing dim lighting, and the fact that I'm trapped here for eternity. You see, I'm dead. My heart gave out on a walk in the park. Too much junk food. The younger generation calls it stunt food. Monstrous burgers and deep-fried grease. And that was my sin. Gluttony. So now, this pathetic restaurant is my purgatory. Right outside that wooden door, the ground just flat out ends. The restaurant hangs over a gaping pit of eternal hellfire. I've seen the bodies writhing in the magma, climbing over each other, screaming. To escape this place and reach the pearly gates, I have to clear the menu every single day. But the final course is always a demonic trap. The first time, it was a bowl of toxic pufferfish. Halfway through, my arm went numb, my throat swelled shut, and I choked to death, only to wake up right back in this booth. The next time, it was a plate of shimmering, broken glass. The micro shards ripped my gums to shreds. I bled out in minutes. Today, the waitress brought out a covered tray. When she pulled away the cloth, my heart stopped all over again. A 7-foot-long rattlesnake, coiled, hissing, its slitted eyes locked onto mine, waiting for me to take a bite. My hands were shaking. I couldn't do it. But if I didn't eat, I'd be thrown into the pit outside. In absolute desperation, my panic-ridden mind produced a Hail Mary. A trick so simple, I thought it would never work. I looked up and said, "I can't. I'm too full. I should have quit a long time ago." For the first time, the restaurant went dead silent. The snake stopped rattling. In that moment, I realized my mistake. For centuries, I had bitched, moaned, and died, but I had always kept eating. Fueled by greed to reach heaven, I was trapping myself in a prison of my own making. The moment I finally said, "No, thank you," the penance was over. The waitress smiled softly, handed me a receipt, and said, "Let's get you upstairs, sweetie."
I've been a structural damage assessor for 10 years. Fires, floods, gas explosions. When a building gets destroyed and everyone goes home, I go in alone to check what's left standing. For a decade, a wrecked house was just a wrecked house. Until February. A gas leak blew out a kitchen on the ground floor. Upstairs looked fine, except for the blown-out windows. At the end of the hallway, I opened the door to the third bedroom. It was completely untouched. A neatly made bed with a dark green comforter. A glass of water, an ashtray, and a lighter on the nightstand. I photographed it, filed my report, and moved on.
March. An electrical fire gutted an old house on the east side. I went through the ruins, room by room. At the end of the hall, there it was again. The exact same bedroom. Same dark green comforter. Same ashtray. Same lighter. I checked my phone. The photos matched perfectly. I forced myself to believe it was just a bizarre coincidence. April. A massive water main burst downtown. The lower floors were ruined, walls covered in mold. 3rd floor. End of the hall. My chest tightened. The same goddamn room. But this time, the pillow had a slight indentation, like someone had just gotten up. And the ashtray held a half-smoked cigarette, a thin trail of ash still intact. The wallpaper had the exact same faded patch near the window, a pattern discontinued back in 1987. May. A house fire on the outer edge of the county. I stood in the hallway upstairs, my hands shaking. I opened the door. The same room. But this time, I recognized the mattress. It was the exact model and manufacture date of my own mattress. One I bought for my chronic back pain. Last week, the 5th house. I already knew it was waiting. I opened the door anyway. It wasn't just a similar room anymore. It was my room. The landscape print my late mother gave me was on the wall. The specific bleach stain from last summer was right there on the fitted sheet. And the bed wasn't empty. A figure was sleeping on its side, turned away. It had my exact build. My hair on the pillow. Sleeping the way I sleep when I'm absolutely exhausted. I closed the door quietly, walked out and drove straight home. I'm sitting at my kitchen table right now. It's late. When I walked into my own house tonight, I stood in my bedroom doorway and just stared. My bed is neatly made. I never make my bed. The nightstand is stripped completely bare. No charger cables, no clutter. The bleach-stained sheet is gone. The landscape print from my mom is gone. My room looks like an sterile exhibition. It looks exactly like that untouched room I found in the very first house. Like someone just stepped out. I don't know where I've been sleeping. I don't know how long I've been gone.